Hal Blaine, drummer who dominated mid-century pop, dies aged 90. Music. The Guardian. Drummer behind iconic Be My Baby rhythm as well as hits by Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and Simon Garfunkel, described as greatest ever by Brian Wilson. Drummer behind iconic Be My Baby rhythm as well as hits by Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and Simon Garfunkel, described as greatest ever by Brian Wilson. Hal Blaine, one of pop music's most prolific and brilliant drummers, who played with Elvis Presley, the Beach Boys and more, has died aged 90. The news was announced on, where he was described as a loving father and grandfather, an inspiration to countless friends, fans, and musicians. May he rest forever on 2 and 4. The family of the Beach Boys. Brian Wilson paid tribute, saying Blaine was such a great musician and friend. Hal taught me a lot, and he had so much to do with our success. He was the greatest drummer ever. We also laughed at, Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees said, he was deeply saddened. Hal played drums on the soundtrack of our lives for many of us, while country singer Margot Price called him one of the most talented and prolific drummers to ever live. Born in Massachusetts in 1929, Blaine learned drums as a teenager and found work playing big band jazz with Count Basie. He quickly made the Blaine ended up performing on US #1 songs from a huge range of stars, including Can't Help Falling in Love with You by Something Stupid by Frank and Nancy Sinatra, I Got You Babe by Sonny Cher, Mr. Tambourine Man by the Byrds, and The Way We Were by Barbra Streisand. Of the Byrds, I don't think they even mentioned me on any of the albums. In those days, some of his most celebrated performances are with Simon Garfunkel on songs like Bridge Over Troubled Water, The Boxer, and Mrs. Robinson. But perhaps his most significant contribution to pop music was on the Rome TTE's song Be My Baby. Its opening 4-beat drum pattern became one of the iconic sounds of 1960s pop, and ended up appearing on countless other songs by artists including the Jesus and Mary Chain and Manic Street Preachers. It was one of many. With The Guardian, Blaine admitted the Be My Baby rhythm was a mistake. I was supposed to Blaine played on fewer recordings from the 1980s onward, and following an acrimonious divorce, he took work as a security guard in Arizona. But in 2000, Blaine's family said he is survived by daughter Michelle and 7 grandchildren. Before you post, we'd like to thank you for joining the debate. We're glad you've chosen to participate, and we value your opinions and experiences. Please choose your username under which you would like all your comments to show up. You can only set, please keep your posts respectful and abide by the and. If you spot a comment you think doesn't adhere to the guidelines, please use the report link next to it to let us know. Please preview your comment below and click post when you're happy with it.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.